Okay, so the first one was about my dad, and he had these clients over, and he was like playing them in cards, and I like helped him like win the game, so he could make the deal.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Pretty fly.
Or like we won the game. I don't know if that got him the deal or not, but like I think it impressed the clients.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember that one as much. That one's not as clear.
I see. But the second one.
Or no, it wasn't cards. I think we were playing cards, but it was like pool.
Oh.
And he was telling me how like I could have like done better. Like he was telling me like I should have done this like.
You didn't do as well as you could have?
He described this like, well, I did well. I won the game. But he was describing how I could have like won it in a more jazzier, snazzier style.
Oh, I see.
He's like, yeah, the way you did it was just really basic. Like you could have gone for this one. He described this like trick shot that I was like, what are you talking about? He's like, you could have done a 5-point swing around or some shit. I was like, what?
That's pretty funny.
He's like, yeah, you could have hit it off the back end and bounced it off this one corner and like got it into this one. I was like, what? Okay. I was like, thanks, Dad.
Yeah.
Like literally, I was like, okay, yeah, you're probably right. And then I like had to go to the bathroom or some shit, and my mom was in there, because like everybody was using all the bathrooms at once.
Interesting.
And for some reason, we were at the old house, like on 2724. You know how they had like 5 bathrooms, but like every single bathroom was being used. And I tried to use the one in the front by the door.
Right.
The mom was in there. And she's like, get out or whatever. I'm like, ugh. And then like my mom later on, she like busted out these like old like, we were back at like Crestwood or something.
You said back at Crestwood? Oh. The CW?
We're back at Crestwood or something. Fucking Christ, my neck. Oh, man. I need a muscle relaxant. But we were back at Crestwood. Or somewhere. It wasn't the apartment, I guess. So, that's weird. But my mom busted out this, like, old map of, like, the fucking town. Like, this hand-drawn map. And, like, it looks like Winnie the Pooh or some shit. And, you know, like the 100-acre wood.
Right.
And it's just kind of, like, honed in on, like, our block. Just our block. And she's describing, like, this network of, like, tree houses.
A network of tree houses?
That used to be there. That are no longer there. Like, they tore them down, like, 50 years ago.
Oh.
And I'm like, that's really radically cool. It was, like, this really big one, and then it connected to all these other smaller ones around the block.
Huh.
And one of them led to this, like, old mental institution.
Oh, great.
And I was like, I never knew there was a mental institution on this block.
Stream really takes turns, man.
So, yeah, we went... So I went searching for this mental institution. Like, is it still there? I've never even seen it. And it's, like, located deep within the woods. And it was still there.
Oh.
It's, like, this all-white, like, large facility. And I was kind of out in the woods, like, exploring. And, like, I could look up at it, kind of. And, like, I could see, like, this big pane glass window, kind of dark.
Mm-hmm.
And this old man, like, approaches it and puts his hand, like, on the glass, like, looking down at me. Like, watching me. Like, I guess he was, like, a patient or whatever.
I guess so.
And then my mom comes in and she's, like, describing... She, like, I guess she, like, caught up with me or something. Like, she was in the same spot with me. And she came up and she looked crazy. She looked like her face was white. And she had, like, a jumper on. And she looked like Red from the show Orange is the New Black.
Oh.
Yeah. And she was describing, like, how her time in prison was. And I was like, you're in prison, Mom? And she's like, well, no, it's, like, research for this, like, show I'm watching. Or it's research for this show that I'm writing. Like, this very successful show that was, like, picked up. That she, like, wrote, like a whole season for.
Okay. That's great.
And I was just like, oh, that's really cool. and she was saying like how something to do with like she was like partying too much,
Okay.
and nobody in the neighborhood liked her because she wouldn't wear a bra,
Okay.
and she would wear like really trashy clothing. So they like threw her in jail or something. I'm starting to lose it. I don't exactly know why she was in jail. Basically, it was like Orange is the New Black, though.
Okay, right. And then what happened?
And then the third dream. This is more like an omnipresent one. I don't even know if I was really there. It was more like I read it as a news story, and I watched a video on my phone.
Okay.
But it was about the Dunkin' Donuts up the street, here.
Okay.
And this it's like late at night, and this old man, he's not super old, like middle age, kind of thin and lanky,
Okay.
kind of crazy looking,
Okay.
but not like,
Okay.
I don't know, he was like ordering donuts, or he's walking out, and this guy in this black hoodie like had some kind of issue with him,
Uh-huh.
and he had this bat, and he just,
Bat.
yeah, and he tries to swing on this old man, and the old man kind of like tries to fight this guy, and he kind of like almost gets him for a second, but then he gets like clipped. The old man gets clipped in the head by the bat, and this is like, I don't know if it's like cell phone footage. I wasn't really even there, and like the old man like just falls right on his face, and the guy just like takes the bat and just starts like whacking this dude on the head, and there's like blood everywhere. Like just like really whacking his head. Like you can see like his hair shift, and like you can see like his head like bouncing. Like it's really like unnatural looking. And the guy like just like hits him a few times more, and just like runs out of the coffee shop. And I'm like, this guy's dead for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, like or he's gonna be in the hospital, like for sure, like,
Right.
and probably gonna make a long recovery if he's not dead.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy behind the counter is like, dude, are you okay? Like, that was fucked up. Like, and the old man kind of like gets up, or the middle-aged guy, he kind of like gets up, and he's just like shaking his head, like kind of sitting on his ass, like with his knees in the air, and he's like, just like looks really pissed. And the guy behind the counter kind of reaches over. He's like, are you okay, man? He kind of like touches his head like with his fingers. And he's like, he said something along the lines of like, are you okay? That looked really bad, or like, you look really bad or something. The old man's like, well, you're not too clean, so we're even, or something. Like kind of swats his hand away.
Oh, I see.
Like basically like, don't infect my wound with your like dirty hand.
Right. Damn.
Like, and like, it seemed like after that, like this guy was like, you know, fucked up, but like I just made like a joke kind of, like he's like coherent.
Right.
And just kind of like has a natural like pissed off reaction. Like he didn't seem like he was like mentally fucked up at all.
That's weird.
Like he was like Kit Lars or something. Like it was weird.
That's weird.
And then, yeah, the dream kind of just ended. And I just woke up and I was like, Mason?
Let's see. Interesting.
Yeah, that was fucking bizarre. Those three dreams like back to back.
Sounds like it. Sounds pretty nuts. That's so.
I wish exactly I remember the dialogue, because like I remembered it right when I woke up. It was like something like, you know, you don't look too good. And it's like, well, you don't look too clean. Yeah, something like that. And yeah, the guy didn't look clean. It's like, yeah, please don't touch my wound with like your dirty ass hand. Like, I'm not trying to get like an infection.
The counter at the coffee shop.
Yeah.
His hands are probably not that dirty.
No, this is like late. This guy was like working the late shift, and he looked kind of like grubby. There's blood everywhere. Like a big pool of blood. Like this guy lost a lot of blood. And maybe he wasn't okay after that, but he was just like in the moment. He looked like he was ready to get up and just walk home.
That's crazy, yo.
Yeah.